Welcome to the Liquid Courage Podcast presents Never Have I Ever, the podcast where I, Amanda Pereira, sit down with a friend, grab a yummy beverage, and play the infamous drinking game, Never Have I Ever. Each episode features a different friend of mine who works in the arts, and we play Never Have I Ever using prompts from you. We read the prompt out loud like, never have I ever gone skydiving, and if we have, we drink. Feel free to grab your favorite drink and play along with us. If you want to submit a prompt for the show, just click the link in the episode description. Today, I'm joined by my friend Shannon Burns. Shannon is a radio host and podcaster based out of Toronto. She currently hosts the Midday show on Virgin Radio and is an entertainment contributor for iHeartRadio Canada. At work, Shannon interviews some of the top musical artists like Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Katy Perry, Meghan Trainor, Sam Smith, Miley Cyrus, and more. Alongside friend Paulina Nicole, Shannon also hosts the podcast Pop for Thought, a fun and informal approach to pop culture discussion. So let's play Never Have I Ever with my friend Shannon. I'll start us off with our first prompt. Never have I ever listened to the intro of this episode. Drink. I feel like you're on the radio with the countdown. Do they do that?
Kind of, actually, yeah. I have countdowns all the time.
Yeah, don't they do that? Oh, I've never been on the radio, but don't they do that where they're like, you're on in 5? Or is that?
Yeah, well, it's just like on the screen. It'll like count down when the song's ending. And it's just like me by myself in there. So I can do it to myself. I can do it.
Yeah. 3, 2,
on my own mic.
And on you go, Shannon. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I think I'm thinking of like the morning news, like even like the morning show where they do it.
Like floor director. Yeah.
Okay, well, they did it here for us, which is so sweet, on a little online studio. So I like to, so Flying Monkeys Brewery in Ontario gifted me all the beers to drink for Never Have I Ever. Or I shouldn't say all the beers, all the beverages, which is so sweet. But I like to specifically pick one for my guest. And so I picked this one here for you because it's so colorful. And I feel like you are a unicorn type of a person. You're just like very special and unique and sweet, and you have such a positive attitude. And it's a hard seltzer. It's watermelon, lime, cucumber. It's called Born Unicorn. Yeah.
In my alley. And that's very sweet of you to say. So thank you so much.
I feel like you're one of those people where like anyone I talk to about you no one has anything bad to say. Everyone's like, oh, she's so wonderful. It's like, she's a unicorn. I feel like she's a unicorn.
Yeah. I try hard to be nice. I actually recently got a tattoo that says be nice because I feel like it's important.
It is important. How recently did you get that tattoo?
I got it probably like a month ago.
Oh.
I want to actually know the story behind it.
Yeah, I do.
So my future father-in-law, like my fiance's dad, has been in the hospital for like the last almost 9 months because he got in a motorcycle accident. And while he was in the hospital for like 6 months, he couldn't talk because he had like a trach thing in his throat.
Yeah.
But they were replacing it at one point. So they tried to get him to talk for like those few minutes that he could. And they asked him if he had anything to say. And all he said was be nice, which we don't know why he said that. But those were like the only 2 words that he got out. And those were like the only 2 words that he spoke for like 6 months. So myself and my girlfriend and her sister and brother-in-law.
Fiance.
The of us, we all got this tattoo together to like, That's so sweet.
That's so sweet. It is a good reminder. And I think sometimes it's like, even if you are a kind, nice person, sometimes in certain situations, it's nice to have the reminder of like, okay, you know what? Kill him with kindness in this situation. And I will feel better walking away. And
totally.
Oh, wow. So is father-in-law doing okay now?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's still in the hospital, but he's getting there. He's making progress every day. So we're just like grateful that he's still here and all that stuff. So
absolutely. Yeah. Have you been able yet, or has he been able to answer? Like, have you been able to ask him why he said be nice?
No, he doesn't remember saying it. So he's like, he has like no recollection of like several months of being in the hospital. So he's like surprised. When we all got it, he was like mad at us for getting tattoos, and then we had to like explain to him that it was like for him. We're like, it's for you. We got this for you. And then he got a little less mad after that.
I was gonna say, he kind of has to soften his anger at that point. Like, it's hard to be mad when like 4 human beings that love you got this like sentimental tattoo in your honor. You can't be like, you can't really be mad about that. Yeah, exactly. Wow. It's like it's from his deep soul. Like when you say it in those moments.
And he's like the sweetest guy too. So it just like all kind of connects itself.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. That's so, wow.
Anyways.
Oh my God. Thank you for a story right off the top. I love it. What are you drinking today, Shannon?
I'm drinking a Partake Blonde. I love a non-alcoholic beer, so this is what I had in my fridge, and it's great.
I love. I drank the I think it was the IPA Partake with Jay Stevens on Liquid Courage. That was how I first found out about it. Like they mentioned that one, and it was so good. I know we were just saying off air, like now there's non-alcoholic beverages that actually taste good, which is so nice, and Partake is one of them.
I know. I love the Heinekens. I love the Coors.
Yeah,
like it's all.
Yeah, they're all good. Okay, I'm gonna crack this Flying Monkeys Born Unicorn. Oh my god, did we just crack at the same time? God, we're cute. Cheers. Oh my god, this is so fucking good. Oh, wow, good. It's so limey, like in a really great way, and then the watermelon's like a little sweet. That is good.
I'll have to try that.
Yeah. Hard seltzer. I don't actually know. I don't know. I also, Flying Monkeys has like the best branding in their drinks. They're always fun. Yeah, it really does. Okay, so we're going to play Never Have I Ever today together. And as I was saying to you, so I have my little basket. I don't know what any of the prompts are. People submitted these in. I hope all the people in Shannon's otter and all the little small what are otter? What the fuck is an otter and like a beaver and like a gopher? What are they? Rodents? No.
Oh, I literally was gonna like describe the gay terms for those things because there's like a bear, but there's also like
bear, there's an otter.
I was like, well, an otter is like less of a bear, but more of a.
Well, let me tell you. Like Queen of Pop Culture, isn't there? I just saw a TikTok the other day where somebody was explaining. It might have been Chriselle from Selling Sunset, I think it was, and she was like on a press tour, and someone asked her a question and like what something was, and she answered it.
Lesbian thing?
Yes, I think it was, and then she posted like, "Oh, you got to know your audience." Like they had no idea what she was talking about.
She was talking about how her and G Flip like U-hauled, and then it was like Mario Lopez and somebody else. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And they just had blank looks, and they're like, "Sorry, what's a
U-haul?" Yeah.
Then she was like, "Oh, it means like we moved in together really quickly."
Yeah. That was that moment. That was that otter moment. I was Mario Lopez in that moment for just a second. Thank God I caught on quickly. Okay, anyway, hopefully in Shannon's honor, everyone was nice. Be nice, everybody. And they were nice with all their prompts. Or they were just like sneaky, but in a good way. Okay, so what I've been doing is I'm going to pick two, and then you get to choose left hand or right hand. Which one we do first?
Oh, I'm terrible at my left and right, so right.
Great. And you know what? Also, my camera's mirrored, I think, so it won't even. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, 100. Okay. Never have I ever pulled an all-nighter. I'm like, we work in the arts.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Even just not even working, but like being out with friends, and then all of a sudden.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, just all of a sudden, you know when people like cheat and they're like, it just happened. That's what that sounded like with that all-nighter. It was the day, and then it just happened. It was the morning. I don't even know. Have you? Oh yeah, but I'm thinking like I feel like all-nighters I used to do like in school, way more so, like for work, getting stuff done. But even then, I remember feeling like, okay, this can be an organized event. Like we can make something out of this. We can like roommate, let's both pull an all-nighter and let's make snacks and let's plan a break and let's plan what show we're gonna watch. Like let's make it a whole production.
Yeah. Definitely. I've done that. Or just like doing it myself where I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay up all night and like study for all of these things and work all night and then, be tired in the morning, but at least have all my stuff done. I'm such a like night owl too. So I love staying up late.
See, I was going to say like, I can't do it now. I hate doing it now. Like I'm loving sleep so much more now.
Oh yeah. I was like at a party this weekend and I was staying at a friend's house out of town and she had a party at her house and I was the first one to go to bed. And I'm never that person. So I was like, this is 30 years old. It was like 1 a.m. People kept coming into the room and like crawling into bed trying to get me to like keep partying. And I was like, no, I'm going to bed.
Goodbye. Like, Peer pressure means nothing. I will lose all these friendships if I get some Z's. 100%. Yeah, I was out at a bar last night and the event started kind of early. So like it ended by like 11. And I guess I got home and in bed at like 1. And I was so tired this morning. Like, I was like, I need to push everything in the morning till later. Which was like 1.
Well, I did a red-eye flight the other day. So that was pretty much an all-nighter. Except I was like, on a flight. And that was my first time I've ever done a red-eye. And I am still recovering. Like, it's so hard. It really just fucks up your sleeping, everything.
Yeah, it does. It fucks up anything with travel and overnight and time zones or any of it. Yeah. Fucks
bad.
up everything. Okay. Never have I ever had a one-night stand. I have never had a one-night stand.
I have had
I kind of wish
several
I
one-night stands.
Several. Oh, that's fun. Okay,
Yeah.
what was your favorite part about a one-night stand? It could be about a specific experience or just like about all of them in general. What's your favorite part of a one-night stand?
I think it's like the excitement of the experience where probably like the first time, was it the first time? Yeah, the first time that I had a one-night stand was actually a threesome.
Okay, Shannon, just check off the list.
So, and I had no idea that that is like how my night was going to go. So that, I think it was the excitement of all of a sudden being in the situation. And I was like, wow, this is such a curveball. Like, who would have thought that this is how the night ended? And it was in like a super nice apartment too. So I was just like feeling very, I don't know, adventurous. And it was just like an overall fun experience. 10 out of 10. I had a great time.
10 out of 10. I'd do it again.
My ankle though that night too. So maybe not 10, maybe 9 out of 10.
Was it
was
like
a whole thing.
During the threesome that you sprained your ankle?
It was while we were leaving the like concert that we were at and we were walking to the apartment. I like stepped off a curb weird and I didn't acknowledge it. I was like, I'm not letting anything like get in the way of what's about to happen. So I just like ignored it and then dealt with it the next day. I was like, whatever.
You were like, ankle, shut up. Do not ruin this for me. Like I still they need to think I'm so cute. And there's two of them. They could do it without me. Like ankle.
I know.
Really. I'm like, please, I am so disposable right now. Do not fuck this up for me. Wow. Did it really hurt in the morning? Like I feel like
it hurt so bad. Yeah. But what was so nice, well, this is really bringing back a lot of memories. I had to work the next day. So I was on the radio and I was talking about my like sprained ankle on the radio. And this like lovely older gentleman like went to Walmart, got me an ice pack and like a wrap and then dropped it off at the radio station for me because I was talking about how I like didn't have anything. Isn't that so nice?
Wait, like a listener? Like they didn't work at the radio station.
I was like listening to my radio show.
Oh my God, be nice, people. He probably has a be nice tattoo.
Yeah, I got it for him.
Sure. Yeah, you got it for him. Yeah. It was just a huge coincidence that your future father-in-law said it because it was already for this guy. Wow. Yeah.
Now with also talking about a threesome. Anyways, yeah.
At that part also.
One night stand. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, go for it. Also, I feel like if I was going into it, if I had sprained my ankle and then I was like going to go have a threesome, I'd also be like, well, fuck. I am going to be limited in the physical things that I can do. Like, I'm going to need to be like on the bed or sitting. Like, I'm not standing the whole time. Like, you know, you got to be well, you know what? Maybe there's adrenaline and nobody cares. And the next day you're just like.
It kind of was the whole adrenaline. And there was like alcohol involved and like, you know, so you're just like really out of sight, out of mind. Yeah.
Your ring is so shiny. I love it. Okay. Anyway. And it was so shiny in person too. And I was so glad to meet your fiance. Anyway. Okay. Okay, in real life. Okay, never have I ever sent a meal back at a restaurant. 100%.
Oh, I haven't.
Oh my God, I love this. Let me tell you. So one time I did it and I sprained my ankle. I'm just kidding. Someone at the radio station. I'm not even thinking of a specific time. I'm not great at doing it, I will say. Like, usually I just pick things out and deal. But I feel like I've sent other people's meals back.
Oh, that's nice.
But for myself, it's actually, I did it like this summer. A friend of mine ordered nachos and no meat. And then it came like covered in pulled chicken. And I could just tell they were being very kind of like, no, it's okay. And the server was like, oh, fuck. And they recognized right away, like the server realized that it was wrong. And they were like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Like we can inconvenience people a little bit to correct it so that you don't have to eat meat. Like it's okay.
Yeah, and I think in instances like that too, like if you don't want to eat meat and it comes with meat, then that's worth sending back in that situation.
Yeah.
I think I've just been lucky enough to like not have the wrong order given to me yet. Oh, I haven't had to be in that situation, which is nice. Because it is always like
it is. I know. It has to be like a really big fuck up for me to send it back. It's not usually like or it's like, oh, one time, this was years ago. One time I did get like chicken and it wasn't cooked. I was like, because I want to eat it. Yeah. And even the rest of the plate. Like, yeah.
I got food poisoning from a restaurant this year for the very first time, which I would have given it back if I had known, but that like a good 12 hours. Yeah.
Fuck.
And then I thought, should I call the restaurant and like tell them?
Yeah.
the safety of other people. I didn't do that. Maybe I should have done that. But anyways, for anyone who's had food poisoning, I had never had it like that before. And I seriously feel like I'm a different person after going through that. That was like insane.
Why do you feel like you're a different person?
Because it just like hit me so hard. Like I genuinely, for a couple hours there, I was like, am I dying? And then I realized, because I am a procrastinator and I haven't done my will like my mom has been asking me to do for like years.
Right.
So I was like in bed like so weak, like after throwing up for like 7 hours. And then I wrote out my will in my phone because I was like, at least if I die, maybe they'll take this as like a legal document. So I was like, like my money goes to my fiance. Like, anyway,
leave everything to the cat.
Yeah.
It's so funny, like to picture you mid food poisoning being like, fuck, it's time. It's not like I need to write my will and this is a reminder. It's like, no, it needs to happen right now because I think I'm gonna die. I do know a couple people who, like, after they had really bad food poisoning, it changed them in the sense, like, when they went to restaurants and stuff, they were so specific about what they chose. Like, they were afraid of getting it again so much that they were like picking different things. I had like
it was like a beef dip, something. I don't know. It was something I just like never really order, but I feel like I probably just can't eat that ever again. So that'll
Wait, was it a French dip? Like a
French dip. Yeah.
Okay, so my brother, the day of his graduation and the next day was prom, and we took him out to like celebrate, and he got a French dip, and then the next day he got such bad food poisoning. He literally threw up like every hour for like 12 hours. And my brother is not a person. Yeah, he never asks for help. And he's my younger brother. And he was like, Amanda, could you follow the party bus to prom in case I need to come home? And I just followed, and I found like, I don't know, some sandwich shop across the street from the prom. And I just stayed there, and he was like 15 minutes in, and he called me. He's like, I gotta go home. He was just this poor guy. He literally was taking prom photos in like a park with his date. And we'd take a photo and he'd go throw up. And then we'd take a photo and this poor guy was like really pushing through. And I know, but it was a fucking French.
To just be there.
Of
I can't believe it was a French dip. I wonder if it was like the same restaurant.
Honestly, nobody have French dips, okay? French dips? No more French dips. All right. I can't eat beef, so I can't even do a French dip, but like nobody else do French dips. Get out of there.
Yeah, that's your warning. Okay.
Never have I ever vandalized city property. Statute of limitation. Everything happened when we were like 3 years old, is what we're going to say also.
I don't think that I have. Have you?
I don't think I have either. It doesn't like, I can appreciate why that seems fun for some people. Like, I think I get it. It doesn't sound fun to me. There's so many things that sound fun, and that just doesn't. I'm like, ugh, someone's going to have to clean that up. Like, I'm causing work for somebody.
And it's like, I would rather, I just don't think I would feel good adding more like grossness to a city.
No,
we're good. Look at us.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm like, meh. Yeah, we're so nice. We're so sweet. Okay. Never have I ever sent a drink to a stranger. Oh, I think I've done this. I'm just trying to think when.
Right? I don't know if I have. I don't know if I've been brave enough. I'm like standing at a bar, like next to like a cute girl and being like, "Oh, can I buy you a shot?" Like, I've done that, but I don't know if I've actually like bought it and then been like, "Girl down the bar," you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, so I had an experience the other day. I was at a bar, like restaurant, with two friends, and we had finished dinner and we were just having drinks. And these two guys come over with 5 shots. There's 3 of us, and they're like, "Oh, we're visiting from Montreal. It's our birthday. Like, can you take a shot with us?" And they put them down on the table, and all 3 of us had such different responses. My one friend was like, "Sure," but the other 2 of us were like, "No, thank you." So immediately she was like, "Sure," and like pulled back, and she said like she felt like a fucking idiot. And then sorry,
why'd you say no?
So my one friend said no because she was like, "Oh, we have to be up early." And afterwards I asked her, she said she turned down the shots because she thought if we say yes to them, it's going to feel like she's going to feel obligated to talk to them.
Oh yeah. Then you have to like,
yeah. And so, and she was, and like they were visiting, and it was like, she just wanted to hang out with us too. And she's like, I didn't want to have to like, I didn't feel like socializing and making friends. And then I said no, because I don't know what this says about me, but I was like, I didn't see the bartender pour those shots. I don't know what's in there.
Oh, that would be my first thought.
Okay, thank you. They were like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that." And I was like, am I looking at the world too negatively or something? But I also feel like
it's safety.
Very realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like, you have to be extra careful.
You do, which is really sucks, but you really have to. Like, there's a reason why there's like that nail polish that they made where you like dip the nail polish where you dip it in your drink and then it changes color if there's like if it's been tainted. I said to them, it was tequila. I love tequila. If they had said, "Can we have like would you like a shot?" and then they ordered it from the bartender and the server brought it over on a tray. Yeah. Yes, maybe the server was in on it, but I would have felt way more comfortable. It's like I literally have to buy the bottle from the store and pour it myself at the restaurant. No, but like I would have felt more comfortable, but I didn't know how long they had been sitting over there, so I talked to them. I was fine. It was funny that all three of us had completely different reactions, and that the reason like my one friend said no, I was happy to talk to them. Which is also a good reason. I like your friend's reason too, because then you're obligated. Then you like feel like you owe them something, and I just never want to be in that position. So. Yeah, which is also I was saying to her like that's also bullshit. Like that's also the whole narrative that like if you go on a date with somebody, then you owe them anything. But it's just drilled into our head. Yeah, with them long. Yeah, that's like, true. You could have taken the shots. You could have been like, actually, if you order some more from, then drink them, and then just turn your back on the people. You could have done that. Yeah. Like if the server would have brought them over, I would have been like, thank you so much. And then it's like, okay, well that's all. I don't want any more. This was what you asked, and this was my answer. And if you want to ask to hang out, I'll give you a different answer. They were very lovely too. It was their birthday, and I was able to say happy birthday in French, which I was like kind of proud of myself. Which there you go. How do you say it? Very bonne fête à toi. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, they were very impressed. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm impressed too. I don't know any French. So. Thanks, Shannon. I don't know why your energy gives off that you know French. Oh, yes. Thank you. You're so welcome. Honestly, I don't know why it's like something Parisian in you that I'm like, oh, I'm loving this. Yeah, there's nothing about me that gives off any sort of like anything, but I can speak English. I can speak like a tiny bit of Dutch, and that's it. I thought you were gonna say I can speak a tiny bit of English, and that's it. Like even English. I speak English like it's my second language. It's like, oh my God. Okay, this one I pulled. Honestly, it's so silly that I pulled this for you. I feel like people won't believe me about what it says, and I don't even know if they can see. Never have I ever met someone famous. I'm like, shall the list go on? I could have picked that with any friend. Okay, how about have I met anyone famous? No, I know you have, because I have you online. I'm like, I know you have even this year. Who's a new famous person that you've met? Like they're newly famous? Oh, yeah, sorry. Met someone recently. Yeah, great phrasing of the question, Amanda. Okay, how about you met recently that how about this? You met someone famous who you've really wanted to meet. Like you were really excited to meet. That's a good question. Oh, Shannon, you said that when I was interviewing you, and it was just the best. You're so sweet when you say it. You're a great interviewer. So you're a great interviewer. When I met recently, do you know the singer Charlotte Cardin? No, should I? What are you supposed to say? No. She's from Montreal. She just was like nominated for 6 Junos last year. She like had the most amount of Juno nominations. And she is like an incredible singer. She's really big in Quebec. She was like on their version of The Voice, but now she's really starting to like break through. But Charlotte Cardin, she's a really good singer. I just interviewed her and I really like her. Fun. But now I have to come up with a better answer because you didn't know who that is. I'm also like, I feel like I also need to be very clear that like the amount of French I know is like, I know how to say like bonjour, bonne fête à toi, and like merci. Yeah. Like I couldn't listen to her song and understand French if she's singing in French. She sings English. Okay, great. Then I could understand all of it almost, probably. Yeah. So then you're totally, you would like her music, I think. Who's a famous person that I met? I just interviewed the singer Fletcher, but I've also met her like 5 times. So that doesn't. So not a new person. I'm literally trying to think of your. Oh my God! Well, you just interviewed Ryan Gosling. Oh yeah, Ryan Gosling. And he was like for the Barbie movie, and I was so happy for you in the moment. Because when you brought up his singing, he was like, oh, you have so many of those moments. Please, I'm a good interviewer. You're a wonderful interviewer too. You have so many moments with celebrities and famous people, musicians. Yeah, I guess all celebrities, but where they're like, oh, I haven't been asked that before. Like where Lewis is like, whoa, with his brother. Yeah. That's like my kink. It's like the best thing that can ever happen to me is when I get that response from a question. And to get that from Ryan Gosling was like insane. I had someone on the tweet be like, you asked Ryan that question about Dead Man song. Oh my God. I was like, I did. I did. And then they brought you an ice pack and put it on your ankle. That's what's going to happen now. You're just going to keep getting ice packs. That's how I feel when you say that's a good question. I feel like that too. Listen, if anyone's interviewing, just keep saying that to them. Okay. Clearly I can't read and speak at the same time. Okay, never have I ever played hooky from school or work. Did you used to do that?
I've never played hooky from school. I was a pretty good student, but I've definitely given myself like a mental health day and been like, I'm sick. Yeah. And then just like stayed at home and had a day to myself. Yeah. So is that playing hooky? Is that good?
I feel like, I mean, it's funny when you're saying that, I was even thinking like, well, what is it implied to me when it's like playing hooky is like, I'm pretending that I can't go to school or work, but I can. But I'm also like, no, mental health days, you can't go to work. Like that's the truth. And also it shouldn't be that you can't. It should just be like, it's not a good idea today within reason for me to go.
Yeah, that's very fair. I didn't call in sick for work for like 5 years. And I was like so proud of it. And then I came to the realization where I'm like, I sometimes will need to. Yeah. And then I did. So I did that. And then I had food poisoning. So then I had to take
You're like, I quit everything. Yeah. You're like, listen, it's in my will. I quit. Like, I can't even. Yeah. I feel like COVID changed that a lot for me too, where like there used to be such pride and like air quotes, like hustling through, like, or like pushing through. And now I'm like, no, if I'm sick, it's not even for me. It's for other people. I'm not going to go into work. But when I was a kid, something I feel so grateful to my mom for, like when I was a kid, she was really big on, like even in like the 4th or 5th grade, like if I needed a day off from school, she was like, great, you can have a day off of school. Like it was never, it was never like, no, you have to go. And I didn't have to be sick. It could be like, I remember one year just like it was just rough. Like I feel like most people go through like bullying years and it was nothing like horrendously horrible. But at that time it felt horrible. I was just like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to face it. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. And she was always so great. She was like, okay, we need to figure out getting your homework and you need to finish your work and stuff. Yeah. But she more than me would be like, do you want to stay home from school? And I'm like, no, I should go. She's like, you can stay home if you want. Like she was on the side. I mean, saying, I
had to perfect my like feeling sick. Like, Mom. Just so that I could stay home. So that's really nice that she gave you that.
Yeah. Honestly, it instilled in me in like, if you need a day off, you need a day off. I mean, it's very hard for me to take one, but I still hear her voice in my head doing that, which I really appreciate. Yeah, which is really nice. Okay, never have I ever had serious road rage.
Oh, yeah. I have. I feel like everyone has.
I feel like everyone has. Yeah. I'm about to have road rage at how fuzzy my camera's going. Oh, I'm just kidding. But wow, it popped right back. No, anger's not the answer, everybody. It's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely had, I don't know if I can recall a specific situation, but I feel like I've definitely been mad. I'm definitely like a passenger though. Like if I don't have to drive, I will like play the music, do the directions. Yeah. Like my fiance Morgan is the driver in our relationship.
Yeah. I like being co-pilot. Like I'm fine to drive, but I feel like I'm a very good co-pilot. I'm great with directions. I'm great at like, oh, you need to find a coffee shop. I'll find it. I'm good at navigating phones. Like I just feel like I'm a good co-pilot. I feel like people don't like, if you really think about it, driving is scary. Like we're going so fast and there's so much like, I don't know. I don't trust anyone. It's just a lot. Yeah, I was just going to say, it's also like all my trust issues come up. I'm like, how do I know that they're not going to hit me? And like, how am I? And
I think it's because I've lived in a city for 5 years, so I haven't had to drive as much. But so now when I get into a car, I'm like, guys, this is crazy what we're all doing here.
Do we all just do this and pretend it's like totally safe? Because this feels wild. Yeah, I do sometimes feel like this is something we've all agreed is normal and it doesn't feel normal at all. Right. But the only time I really get road rage is if someone cuts me off, doesn't really bother me. The thing that really bothers me is if I'm driving the speed limit and somebody behind me is constantly honking, like, is it called tailgating? Isn't tailgating when you have fun at a football game? Okay, tailgating. I think it's the same thing. Like following very closely.
Or when you're at a red light and then it just turns green and then they honk and you're like, give me 1 second.
Like I'm literally, I'm not on my phone. Hands are on the steering wheel. I'm looking at the same green light you are. Or, if I'm in a car and there are pedestrians crossing and people are honking at me to go, that pisses me off. I'm like, look in front of me. What do you want me to do? Would you like me to murder them? Like, what do you want me to do? But the main thing I've found, and I don't know if like someone told me to do this or I don't know, but I've done it enough times where now it's like my instinct that if somebody is like rude to me on the road, well, a lot of the time you're just interpreting it as rude. But if somebody is like honking or doing that kind of thing, first of all, I'm like, you're either having a really shitty day or you are an angry person, and that sucks. And if somebody cuts me off, I'm also not quick anymore to make it all about me. Like if they cut me off, it's not about me. Like maybe someone's in the hospital. Like maybe they are racing because their partner is having a baby or their surrogate is having a baby. Like maybe they need to go to places and it's more important, and I am fine with that. Like, it's not about me. It's not because they think I'm an idiot, because it's just so easy to think that's why.
Totally. Yeah.
So,
I think about that all the time with like comments on the internet. Anytime somebody leaves a mean comment, I'm like, oh, that really sucks that you took time out of your day to like write something so mean and that you like think that and then had to say it. I'm like, I probably wouldn't hang out with you at a party. So
yeah. And that that like way of living is that they're stuck in that life of doing those things, of like writing hateful comments online to people that they don't actually know. It's like,
I'm adding more negativity into the world. Brings us back to be nice.
Be nice. Maybe I should get that tattoo. No, I feel like that. No, it's crossing the line. Everyone should get the tattoo, but make it like a different font. I feel like it's creepy if it's like everyone having the same font, because it's like a personal thing. Nobody knows your future father-in-law. Okay. Never have I ever. Well, we already know you'll say yes to this one. Okay. Never have I ever made out with more than one person in 24 hours. Because I'm like, threesome.
There you go.
So yeah, let's do another one. I'm like,
yes, I have.
I'm like, yes, I have. Never have I ever made out with two people and more than one person in the same 24 hours and sprained my ankle. Okay. Oh, never have I ever embarrassed myself at work. 100%.
All the time. My work is broadcast to thousands of people. I embarrass myself on the daily, and then I just have to ignore it. Like, But the best part about doing a radio show is that you don't always get like an immediate reaction, so you can like mess up and say dumb things, and you never really know what people are saying about it. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, you can just imagine that in their car, they're like, "Oh, I thought that too, Shannon." Like, whatever.
Yeah, or people are just like, "That was probably a really stupid thing to say." Like, I'm sure people are like, "What is this girl talking about?" Which is, I don't like to hear that, so it's fine.
Can you think of like the most embarrassing moment that comes to mind from work?
I remember I was talking on air one time. This was like I was only a few years into hosting on air, so I was like still kind of new. And I think I just totally lost track of what I was talking about. And I just like couldn't get back to what I was saying. And I didn't know how to end it. So I was just like, I don't know what I'm saying. And then I just played the song. And then there was someone else in the room too. And he looked at me and was like, that was so rough. And I was like, I don't know. Like I just feel like, which now I have learned to like kind of keep bullet points so I can keep on track of what I'm saying. Because you do a lot of things, but that one was an instance that I was like, that was rough. I also used to like record myself on video a lot because I would make TikToks about myself on air, and I was trying, this was only like 2 years ago, I was trying to say a number, like a long number, and I couldn't get it out. It was like 5,200 and like something, and I tried like 4 times and I just couldn't get it, and I was like, you know what I mean? And then just like, I ended up even posting that on TikTok because I wanted to be like, look, like this happens on air too. Like it's not all good. And so yeah, it all the time, embarrass myself.
Well, like it's very unique too to be in a workplace where like, yes, everybody is like working in real time with like people around them in real time, but it's also like you're broadcasting. So like when you say something, you're like, well, great. All my coworkers can hear and like everyone else can hear.
Yeah, that was 12 cities across the country. Like, let's just out of sight, out of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure I have, honestly. I've been working so much, like, from home over the past few years that it's also, like, I'm just embarrassing myself in front of myself. But there was one, so I worked have worked on and off in casting for, like, years. I think I might have told the story already. But one of the casting directors that I work for, he has so much knowledge of film. And I feel like I don't. Like, I didn't go to film school, and I'm like, fuck, I feel like I don't know the classic. And so I was working with him, and every day he'd be like, it felt like every day he'd be like, oh, have you seen this movie? I'm like, no. He's like, you haven't seen, like, it was one of those where I'm like, God damn. So eventually he made, and it was like very kind-hearted, be nice. It was a very nice because it sounds maybe mean, but it wasn't. He like made me a list of like, hey, here are like the classics that I think you should watch. And then I was home one night and I was like, I'm going to watch one of these movies. So I was like Googling, and I'm probably going to fuck up the title, but I was Googling and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch Taxi. I'm like, great. I'm in the mood for this. So I watched Taxi. I turn it on, and with my dog, I have popcorn, and I'm like, this is weird. These classics he sent me are like very serious. They're like Requiem for a Dream and like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Maybe it was Taxi Driver.
With Dustin Hoffman?
Yes. So it was Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
So I put on Taxi Driver, and then I'm like, I'm surprised that like Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon are starring in a classic. Like, this is strange. And then I'm like, wow, Jimmy Fallon. Okay. And I'm watching, and I'm like, a classic is about this like taxi cab. Like, what's going on? And then in the end, there's a blooper reel with the credits, like how they used to do that. And I'm like, does a classic have blooper reels? I can be in on this. And then I go to highlight my little list, and I realize, I had watched the wrong one. So I watched Taxi instead of Taxi Driver. That was the issue. And the problem was I told him, oh, I'm watching Taxi Driver. So then the next day he asked me, how was it? What did you think? And I wanted to lie, and I couldn't think of one. So I just caved. And I'm like, I fucking watched Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah. And so now to this day, I will not watch Taxi Driver. It's too triggering. I can't do it.
It is. That one's a pretty intense one too.
Oh,
it's like about like a child. There's sex work. There was a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe Taxi was the better option.
I was going to say, honestly, I'm glad that I ended up watching Taxi then.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Would you recommend Taxi?
No. I would recommend Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Like, I had seen that. It's like one of my favorite movies. That's a great one.
Did you watching Requiem for a Dream?
Yes.
That one is. That's one of those movies that like I could only watch once, and then I was like, okay, I'm good.
Is that the one about like America becoming like opioid crisis and stuff? Not opioids, but like yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Watched that once. Watched it in 2 pieces, like took a break. It was a lot.
It is. It's just like really in your face. Yeah, that was.
And it was like when I watched it, I was so glad that I had watched it, but not that I was watching it. Yeah. It was grateful it was over.
That's how I feel about a lot of movies. I was like, I have to watch this because I like Schindler's List, where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this all the way, but then I need to watch this because it's like a classic. And then once I finished it, I'm like, okay, I watched it.
Yeah, I know. I still haven't watched that one, but that is one of those where I'm like, I need to. Okay, so all right, so to end our little chat today, what is a movie that you're like, I have not seen this movie, and I feel like I'm supposed to have seen it. Like, I feel like I need to see it. So many.
Any of the Avatars.
Oh yeah. I feel like you got to see an Avatar, unfortunately.
Like, I watched the first one, but then the new one, I'm like, I know I'm supposed to, and it's such a good whatever, but I'm like, it's 3 hours. I don't want to watch
it. And it's a movie where I'm like, I feel like when I watched the first Avatar, I watched it in theaters, and I remember being like, I'm so glad I saw this in theater. Like, there's certain movies where like you should see in theaters. So Avatar, this new one, I'm like, I should see this in theaters, but I also don't want to sit in a theater for 4 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. So then I was like, I thought the same thing, and then I was like, watch it at home. And then I'm like, I know myself. I'm not gonna
watch it. I know.
My girlfriend doesn't want to watch it. So that's not gonna be an encouraging thing to watch. But I do make her watch a lot of movies because I do love like dramas and things, and she loves like sticking to comedy. So sometimes I have to like, I'll be like, okay, we're gonna watch. Like I made her watch Sophie's Choice the other day.
That's another one I haven't seen.
Because it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also a hard one. That's kind of like Schindler's List, where you're like, it's a tough one, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's one of the classics, I guess.
One of the classics.
I do want. I'm like, I want to have seen all the classics. Oh, you haven't seen Fight Club?
No.
I have seen Fight Club, and you know what? Okay. Was into it.
Oh, good.
I recommend it. And like
anything that doesn't pass the Bechdel test, I'm like,
I know. You know, that is one where you're like, a lot of them I'm like, is this going to hold up? I know it really makes me lose interest in it in that sense where I'm like, no, I could watch other stuff. Fight Club, I will say, way easier to watch than like Requiem for a Dream or like Memento, like those ones. Way easier to watch.
Memento.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Oh, well, thanks for doing this with me today, Shannon. This was so fun.
Yeah.
Hanging
Thanks
out
for hanging
and
out.
touching base.
Got to know each other more, and you got to learn all about my threesome. So who knew that would come?
I know. Each time we chat, we're just going to keep learning more and more. I love it. Never have I ever played Never Have I Ever on a podcast together. Cheers.
Cheers.
I also drank like none of this because I was just like chatting. That's the thing, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's the best though.
I know. When you have an empty drink and a full heart. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Liquid Courage Podcast presents Never Have I Ever. If you liked what you saw and you're looking to support the show, here's a few ways you can help. You can leave the show a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or you can follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Liquid Courage Podcast, or, and best of all, you can tell a friend about the show. Tell a family member, tell a coworker, post about your favorite episode online. Spread the word. That really is the best way to help support the show and help it grow. Did I just rhyme? Okay, until the next episode, cheers!